Feeling good? Ready for our first speaker? Amazing. So give a huge round of applause for Alexander Seleznev. Cheers.
Thank you. Okay. Thanks everyone for coming. Thank you to organizers for inviting me. And my today's talk will be about the predictive security monitoring. And I have been working in this area for more than half of a year for now, and I'm still excited about the concept. But let me start with a short introduction. So my name is Alexander. I'm CEO of Pessimistic, and I've been working in Web3 security since 2017, and I built two blockchain security teams. First was SmartDAG, and the second is Pessimistic. And with Pessimistic, aside from performing hundreds of security audits, we developed several popular open source security tools for Web3, including Slytherin, SmartCheck, and others. And those of you who speak Russian might already know my voice, because I am the host of Basic Block Radio. I would say that Basic Block Radio is the most prominent blockchain podcast about blockchain tech in the Eastern Europe. Check us out if you speak Russian. Okay, and I want to say thank you to my team at Pessimistic. Without their work, without their research, this talk would be impossible. In Pessimistic, we do audits for top-tier Web3 companies. We perform a lot of research and publish them in our blog. Go check it out. And we also, of course, we develop security tooling for Web3 developers. So if you develop something in Web3, check our GitHub repository also. Okay, a couple of words about the problem that we're trying to solve. The problem that we're trying to solve is the crypto hacks. Crypto hacks are a huge problem. It's a 4 billion problem. It's because almost 4 billion USD were either stolen or lost last year. And the number of security incidents has been growing with a crazy pace, with the same crazy pace as our industry grows itself. And the most common way to deal with smart contract hack risks is to perform 1 or 2 or 3 security audits. But security audits are good. I do not want to say anything bad, but security audits are significantly manual work. And because of this, they cannot neither guarantee the absence of the hack and nor move with the same speed as the industry does from the point of view of management, of schedule management, and all this stuff. And also, there is a simple lack of technical talent on the market. So, in 2023, it's obvious that Web3 needs scalable, automated security solutions. So let's take a brief glance back at Web2 security. In Web2 security, everything is automated. So you can see a list of mysterious abbreviations, which stand for different kinds of automated security solutions. In Web3, we are not even close to this. So what automated tools do we have in Web3? I would say, what useful automated tools do we have in Web3? Because most of the Web3 security tools are either very early or they are, I would say, completely rubbish. So from the auditor point of view, all Web3 security can be classified in the measures that can be done before deployment, then security audit, and then after the deployment. So before deployment, the Web3 developer, what can he do, or she or they can do to avoid security risks, to lower the security risk? They must prepare extensive specification. They must cover their code with a test suite. They must use static analysis tool, fuzzing, and formal verification. And you can see that only 3 last items in this list are automated to some extent. And after deployment, Web3 developer needs to set up bug bounty, prepare incident response playbook, find out how to manage the keys and decentralize the management of the protocol, set up insurance coverage and set up monitoring. And you can see that only last two of these measures are automated to some extent. So as I work in security monitoring mostly, from now on, I will tell you more about the monitoring automation of security. So, and the most exciting part of the monitoring in Web3 is predictive monitoring, which was born in late 2022 when several independent security teams started working in this direction. So the basic concept behind this is that according to recent studies, more than half of all hacks and most of the most devastating hacks are performed in several steps, which include funding of the hack. It's when the hacker takes their funds from some shady place like Tornado Cash or some already blacklisted address. Then the second step is the preparation for the hack. It's when the hacker deploys the specific attacking smart contract that contains all the logic of the attack, all the logic of the exploits, like with flash loan, etc., etc. Third step is the hack itself. It's when the hacker calls to the specific method of this attacking smart contract to actually perform the hack. And the fourth step is the money laundering. So we want to detect hacks on the early stages during the funding and the preparation for the hack. So we can react before the actual loss of funds happened. So let's consider the use case, Euler hack. In case of Euler, the script was exactly as I described in the previous slide. So hacker took their money from a mixer, deployed attacking smart contract with a flash loan and some signatures of a function that were used by Euler finance protocol. And then hacker performed the hack and ran away with money. They returned them. Never mind. So if Euler were integrated with some predictive monitoring solution, we could detect the deployment transactions seconds after it got to mempool, and we could notify the protocol, we could notify the wallets of the liquidity providers which held the money in Euler Finance, and node operators and everyone on the web basically. So automatically we could pause the protocol. Euler could pause the protocol. The wallets could automatically withdraw the money the liquidity providers held in Euler and on behalf of these liquidity providers, etc., etc. So to me, this looks really promising. And so now I will tell you a bit more about how we actually can predict the hacks. So we will dive a bit more into the actual technologies that are used during the hack detections. So the first one is a static analysis approach. It is the fastest of them all, and it generates a bit more false positive, but the speed, it's really invaluable, the speed of this approach. So with static analysis, we can extract high-level information about the potentially malicious smart contract from its bytecode, and then we can feed this information to the machine learning model to capture the statistical differences in the bytecode between this smart contract and the normal smart contract. And if this smart contract is highly abnormal, then we could throw the red flag. The next approach is the dynamic analysis, simulation. So with dynamic analysis, what we can do first is we can simulate any transaction that we see in the mempool and check the cash flow. And if we see significant movements of money or liquidity pool drainage after this transaction, we could also throw an alert. The problem of this approach is that there are basically too many transactions in the mempool to do it effectively. The second approach is we can consider any newly deployed smart contract and fuzz any suspicious smart contracts to verify whether they could be attacking contracts or not. With fuzzing, the problem is the same. The fuzzing is a very slow operation, and with the number of newly deploying smart contracts of about 2,000 a day, it's a bit too slow to do it directly. Third approach is dumb machine learning. So you could take all the information you have about all the transactions and contracts to produce a risk score. But with this approach, there is a problem that the training pool of attacks is still small. It's like several hundreds of actual attacks. So those of you who are familiar with machine learning must understand that it's just too small training pool. So another approach is address risk scoring. It's something that is used in contemporary banking systems. We could blacklist all the sanction addresses, all the addresses that are somehow related to previous illegal activity. And we could also use a machine learning based analysis of the transaction graphs between all the addresses on the blockchain to build some kind of scoring model. Now I will tell you more about the problems that this approach has. So the problems are pretty big for now, but I hope that we will solve them very soon in the future. So the first problem is that obviously most DeFi protocols are decentralized to some extent. At least they have multi-signature wallets, at least they have multi-signature accounts set up, or they have a DAO in place. So they are basically unable to react quickly and automatically to an impeding hack. So they need to set up some kind of, so they need to integrate such solutions on smart contract level in order to react in time. The second problem is that once hackers understand that we are watching them, they will try to hide their actions. They will either try to obfuscate what they are doing in the smart contracts, or they will try to hide the transactions into, for example, private pools. In this case, I think that we will try to solve these problems one by one. There are ideas and approaches on how to solve this problem in the future. And I think, I bet that due to the limitations of solidity and due to compliance limitations, we will eventually plug all the holes. Third problem is lack of trust to a centralized, closed-sourced project. Most of the security monitoring systems which react quickly are, of course, centralized and closed-sourced, and this is the main property to be able to provide quick reaction. So this problem can be solved using several providers of security data. So any protocol could use several providers, for example, Hypernative, Hexagate, Spotter, etc., and react only in case two of three emit an alert. And the last problem to solve is finding the sweet spot between a lot of false positive alerts and a lot of false negative alerts. So we do not want to, fire an alert twice a day, and we also do not want to miss potential attacks. So we need to find something in between in order to provide the most value to people who use such solutions. So I had a video demo here. Yeah, I think I'll skip it for now because I think that the concept is pretty clear and the video will just repeat it. So as I said, we are building such solution, and now it's ready. It is in production, and you could try it right now. So if you want, you can set up the security response using our Telegram bot. So go and try it. It's insanely easy to set up. It takes like 5 to 10 minutes, and we will be happy to hear your feedback. 1 minute. Thank you. Let's proceed to the questions. Please.
What's your opinion on circuit breakers like serum?
Sorry?
What's your opinion on circuit breakers?
Like?
Serum.
I never heard this, actually. Let's talk more about this off stage. I will be.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Hi. Related to address monitoring, in your opinion, what is the best tool right now? Because I know that some companies work with Elliptic and also with score risk. Yeah, just to hear the opinion, which is the best tool to use? Thanks.
Honestly speaking, we didn't do a lot of research in this area. We are now partners with Purify, with AML bots, and we take their data in order to, to get risk score data for the addresses. But there are several data providers in the field, and honestly, I don't think that they're significantly different. I think that the difference is in the details, and it's not like orders of magnitude. Oh, I see questions here. What are some warning signs of an attack? I would say that if I would, if someone asked me to build the simplest possible attack detector with a valuable output, I would say that I would check whether the particular smart contract was deployed using the money taken from mixers like Tornado Cash, and this would be the biggest red flag for any smart contract that this is an attack on some DeFi protocol. The second warning sign would be this contract using flash loan. This is like being a big bell on the church that is ringing that you must stop the protocol immediately. Someone just deployed obvious attack on your protocol. Did I answer the question?
Another question. Do you offer also some kind of SDK that instead of just alerting, you are able to trigger, transaction on chain to pause given protocol, or based on this data, react on chain basically on the alert?
Yeah. Obviously, protocols need some complete solutions, and right now, at the moment, we decided not to build it on our side, so we decided to instead integrate into OpenZeppelin Defender. So it's a no-code reaction tool that someone can use to set up, for example, pause without even programming anything. I think we are good. Thank you.